everyone. Welcome into the Viewhouse Centennial for a post-combine wrap-up. But it's much more special than that because we have got the new head coach of the Valor Christian Eagles. Is it the Eagles or the Fighting Eagles?
We're gonna be fighting this year.
Okay.
The Fighting Eagles. We're gonna put the fight back in the Eagles.
The new head football coach at Valor, Mike Sanford. We're so excited about it, and we are going to talk about that in the next segment. But I first and foremost just want to say congrats, Coach.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited, and I'm excited to continue to be on with you here.
Oh, well,
it's amazing.
This is a win-win kind
so
of
many
day.
wins.
We're going to dive into Valor next, but first I want to start with the Combine. So much happened. Let's start with the Broncos talk. They're at 20. What are they doing?
Well, to me, it's as simple as this. If Ashton Jeanty ends up getting outside of the top 12, you move. You get your Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
And I think that he is that transformational of a player. And to have Bo Nix have in his second year a big improvement in the backfield to give that run game that you just haven't had consistently, frankly, in forever.
Yeah.
I think that'd be such a great move. If Ashton Jeanty is not available, you've got to find the best available tight end. And I hope that ends up being Tyler Warren, but I think he's going to be going early.
Yes.
I could see the Broncos actually move out of 20 as well.
Okay, interesting. So you're saying if you can get up, trade up for Jeanty, but if not, then you would go tight end.
Yes.
So who do you like? Obviously, Tyler Warren's kind of the pipe dream, it feels like.
Yeah, Tyler Warren's so above and beyond everybody else in this draft class, I think.
Well, it feels like it. So who else do you like?
I do like Colston Loveland, and there's some negativity surrounding him. It was a tough optic. You got to be there.
Well, yeah, it was a little shocking when he comes up with the. Yeah, it's still braced.
He's doing he's squeezing the little arm ball, you know. But yeah, he's still a really, really good player. Has verticality, has the length, and has shown that he can be a good blocker. And without question, is a pass-catching tight end and can create mismatches over the middle of the field. You know, if the Broncos do allow maybe pick 20 to either go to a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman, a nose tackle, which of course Broncos fans would be booing mercilessly, I think it could be a good move for this franchise. If you do go that route, I like the depth this year of running backs and tight ends. And my favorite tight end from the Combine, without question, was our guy right here, a local product from Heritage High School with our guy Ferguson.
I liked him too, and he played with Bo Nix, and he's from here. Seems like he'd fit right in.
And he tested great.
Yeah.
He had the speed, he had the verticality. He played a lot of his career at Oregon. He was banged up. So I think he's healthy for the first time in quite some time, and you saw his athleticism.
I like it. Let's jump over to our CU and our CSU guys. Let's start with Shedeur Sanders. What's interesting that's coming out right now is they're saying some teams are hesitant because of all that comes with him. I think that's like a little bit silly. For me, he's experienced fame, and he shows he still wants the game. But it seems like everybody has an opinion on Shedeur. What's a team getting in Shedeur?
I actually thought that Shedeur Sanders was a huge riser at the Combine because of how bad some of the other quarterbacks looked, and because I thought his media availability, his podium session, it showed franchise quarterback.
I thought
that's what I saw, and that's the vibe that he gives off. He's leaned into that so consistently throughout his years as a college quarterback that he's very comfortable in that. He almost invites it, welcomes it, and then guess what he does? He delivers with the biggest moments in critical end of game scenarios. There's no doubt in my mind, and this is coming from a guy that was frankly fired by his dad. I think he is QB1, and it will play out that he's going to be the best quarterback as an NFL prospect in this draft class by far. See,
there you go. So enough of the people who haven't watched him all season. That's all you need to know. I agree.
I'm a believer.
I am as well. All right. I have so much more. Make sure you tune into CBSColorado.com later because I still got to ask you about Travis. I still got to ask you about Tory Horton. I don't know if we'll get to those in the show, but we will have those at some point, one way or the other. We got Coach Mike Sanford with us tonight here on Xfinity Monday Live.
Who's got my back? We got your back. Who's got my back? We got your back. Who's got my back? We got your back. Bring it inside, boys. Let's go. Hey, let's set it off today. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Set it off.
Welcome back in, and man, we remember that moment. That was a very, very trying season at CU, and Coach Mike Sanford, you were a tiny light in what was a very, very dim season.
Very tiny.
At CU. No,
very tiny.
I said that wrong. You were a big light in a very dark season.
Massive light.
And it is so exciting to hear that you were going to continue coaching in the state of Colorado. But I'm so curious, all of your experience has been college. Why jump into the high school ranks?
Well, it's something I've always wanted to do at some point, and my dad was a 35, 40-year college and NFL coaching veteran, finished his last 5 years, just retired as the high school head coach in Las Vegas at Faith Lutheran. And
amazing.
I had a chance to get around my dad as a high school coach, see him take the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom that he's attained coaching at the highest level, and give that as a gift to 16, 17, 18-year-old young men. And that's something that I wanted to do. And I think the opportunity for impact is so significant at the high school level. And you're not just coaching superstars, you're not just coaching NIL earners, you're coaching potentially a kid that might be playing football for the first time. And that's the opportunity to teach and get a player that's never played football before to even get a varsity snap in the course of their career, that excites me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would run through a wall for you, so I know these kids are going to. What, if any, advice has your dad given you about this?
This is I love that you asked this question. So my dad told me when you're coaching at college or the NFL, it's always pressure. Everything is on a deadline. He said in the high school game, you got to realize that this has got to be fun. So find the things that you love about coaching and just lean so hard into all those things and make it really fun, not just for the players, but for yourself. And so for me, I love coaching quarterbacks. And so I'm going to coach quarterbacks. That's something I want to do. And even if I'm the head coach, I want to call plays. I love calling plays. So you can do a lot more things because you don't have to deal with as much on the recruiting side of things.
That's so exciting. You do say pressure, though, and I do think of Valor, and there's an expectation, an expectation that maybe hasn't been met in recent years. So how do you embrace the expectations of they're expecting you to come in and win state championships? I
am so excited about having those expectations. And that's probably the only type of high school job that I'd be interested in taking, because I do like the stakes to be high. I like the pressure to be there, because that's what I've spent 20 years of my life doing, is coaching at a level where if you have a bad year, you're looking for work. And so I will bring a higher level of expectation than anybody at that program. And that's what I want the players to understand, that this program hasn't won a state championship since 2018. That's 7 years. And that's something that I'm going to be working really hard with this group of players to get us back to that spot.
Well, this is going to be very fun to watch. I guess I'm a Valor fan now.
Oh, are you sure? You're a Creeker, though.
Well, I can be both. I have room in my heart for all of them.
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know if Dave Logan's going to feel good about that.
We're not going to start this fight right now.
Yes, we are.
But I'm so excited. Valor is in such good hands. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
To you, Coach. Congratulations to Valor for making such an incredible decision as well. We got a lot more coming up here on Monday. Time now for The People Want to Know. People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. Head coach of your Valor Eagles, Mike Sanford. Sarah wants to know, what's your favorite memory as a head coach?
It's definitely the win over Cal. It was
best rush of the field ever.
It was a field storming for the ages, because it doesn't happen often when you're 0-5.
Yeah.
And so it was Parents Weekend at CU that weekend, and it was a full capacity crowd. So it made it such a special day for our players.
Yeah.
And for me, there was a time where I ran on the field and I kind of went rogue, and I looked back and I was like, I just caught the images of all the different players just for once having a feeling of joy.
Yes.
And that's my favorite memory without question.
Gosh. That's incredible. Like I said, such a light in what was a very dark season there at CU. And now you're going to bring so much light to Valor. That was The People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit. We got to take a break. Up next, we're going to do a little bit of a brain activity here. Yeah, we're bringing the whiteboard out. I'll explain on the other side. We'll be right back. We have brought out the whiteboard here with Coach Mike Sanford, because we are going to build the perfect joker. We are looking for, Sean Payton's looking for his perfect joker. Coach is going to build us his perfect joker. We got a couple topics here.
Yes.
You can add to them, but let's start with the top. Football IQ. This could be current NFL players or prospects.
Well, we got to go with the best football mind in the history of the National Football League, and you don't have to look outside of the Denver Metro. It's Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Peyton Manning you want the football brain, and actually the acronym for football IQ that I've always used is FBI, Football Intelligence. Football Intelligence.
I just wrote football mamming. Peyton Manning.
Tell you what, we got to work on your ball coaching board skills.
Okay,
just
Peyton Manning. I'll take it. That is the perfect joker. Hands.
Okay, I'm going to go with another local flair here.
Yeah, I like it. Really appealing to the masses here.
I think that this is going to be the guy that takes over Justin Jefferson as the best ball skills in the NFL. That's Travis Hunter.
Ooh.
Travis Hunter, number 12.
We like it.
TH12 has the best ball skills in the National Football League, and he has not even taken a snap in the NFL.
Heisman Hunter. Are they going to allow him to play both sides?
You have to, because of what I just said. the ball skills,
I
the
love
hands,
that.
soft hands, catches anything from any angle.
I love that. Size. So
all right,
height,
so
weight.
Size. Okay, we're going to go size-wise. I'm just going to go with I love a big, tall tight end, and I'm going to go with the body type of George Kittle.
Okay.
I just like George Kittle's length. I like his ability to bend. He's angular, and you feel George Kittle's presence in those seams. And Jimmy Graham, a former tight end of Sean Payton, had that kind of length in the seam. That's what the Broncos need.
Angular. What is angular?
Just a lot of angles. So somebody who doesn't have angles is a little bit lumpy.
Okay.
The opposite of lumpy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is my new goal.
Yeah. Football terms.
2025
goal. A lot of football terms.
Be angular.
Yeah.
Speed. Give me speed.
You know, I hate to do it, but I got to put a guy from the Kansas City Chiefs on there. It's Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
Xavier Worthy, who ran a 4.2 40 last year.
Yeah.
Was supposed to have been broken this year at the Combine by Isaiah Bond of the University of Texas.
Yeah.
Didn't even touch it.
Didn't even touch
and
it.
Isaiah Bond was the third fastest Texas Longhorn receiver at the Combine.
There was a lot of
this year.
talk that went on. I think this is quite literally the perfect Joker. We got Peyton Manning, Travis Hunter, George Kittle, Xavier Worthy. I don't think you could build a better Joker. Coach Mike Sanford, this has been such a joy. Thank you so much. We'll keep looking for this elusive Joker.
I want this guy at Valor Christian.
Yeah, I want this guy
He should be an Eagle.
everywhere. Everywhere. Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with head coach of your Valor Eagles, Mike Sanford. And during the show, we were talking Combine, and we missed a couple topics, but I do want to go back and revisit the Broncos. So there's a lot of thought. You said something interesting. Everybody thinks they're taking a tight end or running back. Could they go defense and shock everybody?
It certainly could happen. And high priority defensive tackles, teams that go and win Super Bowls, they somehow, some way seem to have taken a defensive tackle or interior defensive lineman the year that they go and win a Super Bowl. So don't get so mad and throw things at your television set if the Broncos indeed say take a Nolan from Ole Miss, that type of player. I think that if the right running back or tight end is available for the value and the Broncos draft board aligns with pick 20, then I think they will take that Joker spot that of course, Sean Payton wants to find.
There's a very deep tight end and running back class this year. There's so much to choose from. Obviously, Ashton Genty, is the top choice. Tyler Warren's the top choice. But down the board, there's a lot. Who are some of the guys you like that might be more second, third round guys? A
big-time Combine riser for me was at the running back position, Jaden Blue from to University of Texas. He's a running back that CSU fans would know really well because he went off in that opening game against the CSU Rams. He ran in the 4.3 range as a running back that has decent size. And then the other one, there's two familiar to Buffs fans running backs that had good combines as well. DJ Giddens from Kansas State had a fantastic combine, also ran in the low 4.4 range. And then Devin Neal, the Kansas running back, I thought was just super productive. So I think there's great options out there. The tandem at Ohio State between Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, those two backs are fantastic. So to your point, you nailed it. There's a ton of depth at the running back position.
I love it. There's a very interesting guy, Brashard Smith from SMU. Played wide receiver his first 3 years. He played running back for one season when he transferred to SMU. I think in many ways that is you kind of are the true Joker.
Yeah.
What do you think his transition to the NFL will be like?
It's a unique one. And it's interesting does Sean Payton necessarily want to find maybe the receiver that is the running back, kind of a Deebo Samuel? Because in a sense, do you already have that a little bit with Marvin Mims?
Yeah.
I kind of think of it either you need a bell cow running back that happens to have good hands, so think Alvin Kamara, or you need to find that dynamic pass-catching tight end that you just have not had for quite some time. And I think that there are some options there at the tight end position as well. We talked about Terrence Ferguson, Gunnar Helm, two local products. But the guy that I'm super fired up about, and I can't get it out of my mind, is the run-after-catch ability of Harold Fannin Jr. Did not have an off-the-charts combine, but one thing he does do, just like Brock Bowers, he's the guy that you can throw it too short. You can throw those quick little passes like Sean Payton and Bo Nix have thrown with such accuracy and precision, and then they can turn that into a big gain down the field.
So we talked about Shedeur Sanders during the show. The other big guy, of course, Travis Hunter, I didn't get a chance to talk to about. He was listed as a DB. He said that wasn't his choice. He is insistent, I want to play both sides of the ball. I sure hope he ends up somewhere that they're going to let him. But how do you think this ends up playing out?
I think it ends up playing out that, coaches want to win. I'm one of them. I don't like when a really good piece is on the sideline.
Okay.
And he's already proven that he is built different. And I loved his podium as well. And he said, I'm just different.
Yeah.
I had some fun with that myself and put the old 2 Chainz song to it. I'm different. And you roll up to the scene, no ceiling on it, right? And that's what I think Travis Hunter's going to do. I think he's going to have a whole heck of a lot of fun as a multiple skill set player on both sides of the ball. And is there any, do you have any question, any doubt whatsoever he's going to be playing two sides of the ball in the NFL?
No, I
have none.
I have none. I just hope that someone gives him the opportunity.
You have to. He's so special.
Yeah.
He's so gifted.
Yeah, can't be afraid of something new. A guy that I was very excited to talk to at the Combine, and he was great. That was Tory Horton. Obviously, his season.
How impressive a young man is he?
It's such an impressive young man. And he kind of said the injury is the last thing you expect when you go back, but I want to show teams I'm defined by how I respond from it. What do you think his Combine experience was like? What are teams looking for from him, having missed out on that season, but knowing his potential?
Another, I'd say just like Terrence Ferguson, of the guys that competed in the 40, he was another local product that I think shot up. Because the question was, how is he going to run coming off surgery?
Right.
He ran unbelievable. At 6'3", 197 pounds, to run a low 4.4 and to back it up two 4.4s in a row, that's a really impressive time for a guy that has had the production that he's had, does have the ball skills that he does have. That's a big skill set type receiver. Frankly, he is a good fit for Sean Payton. I don't know where he goes in the draft, but Sean Payton likes those receivers bigger, and he's shown the ability to be a full skill set receiver that can also run. I love Tory Horton. I think he's going to end up being a guy that had a quiet, last year in college, but's probably going to emerge on the scene, in the NFL because of his skill set.
I love it. We're looking forward to seeing what he does. Let's talk about you. You got a new job.
I did.
We're trying to keep you here, but you got a new job. You're going to be doing both.
Can I do both?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
We're going to hold you to it.
Okay.
So exciting, the new head football coach over at Valor. What made you want to do this, jump back into coaching? I mean, to be honest, I've always seen you sometimes before our shows, and you're just geeking out. I'm like, you definitely still have it in you.
Yeah, you've seen me with some film, watching
What made you want to say, all right, I want to coach again?
I just think I love the relationships with the players. I do. I miss it. I also want my 8 and 10-year-old son to have a team to be a part of, to be on the sideline. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I mean, I was the son of a coach myself, and I love just the family environment you can create as a head coach. When you do it the right way, these are the memories that you remember for the rest of your life. I remember my high school experience in Southern California like it was yesterday. And so I want to create these memories for the Valor Christian football team and a senior class that's won a lot of games but hasn't won a state championship. I want to give them that experience.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Have you met with any players yet? How's it gone?
I've met every single player on the team. I've actually already, within about 18 hours of being introduced, I was already out on the ball field with them on Saturday morning at 8:30 doing some football. Let's go.
That gets you so pumped. What are you most looking forward to?
Man, I think just getting back on the field and watching players go from a baseline of, maybe not an elite skill player, but to watch that growth and then look back and be like, do you remember where we were at 6 months ago, 2 years ago? I just think it's just that trajectory that you can go on with young people, and also continuity. Valor Christian hasn't had a head coach in place for more than 3 years in quite some time. And so I'd love to be a part of this Valor community for a long period of time. And you got to chase the guy over there at Cherry Creek, your alma mater.
I love it. Look at we got Dave Logan, we got Mike Sanford. I mean, look at these. Have you talked to Dave? You guys setting up some wagers already?
I think he's taken. He's going with the silent treatment with me, man. He wants to be. You got to come kiss all 12 of my rings before I have a conversation with you.
He said, all right.
No, me and Dave had a great relationship. He's the best, and he's done such a good job. He's a standard here in the state of Colorado, so look forward to hopefully having a chance to compete with him.
Well, competition is always a good thing. It brings out the best in everyone, and we know you're certainly going to do that. Congratulations. The school is so lucky. The team is so lucky. And we're lucky that you're still staying in media, too.
I know. I'm so excited.
Win-win. Last one before I let you go. The Combine's kind of changed over the years, right? Shedeur doesn't throw. Cam Ward doesn't throw. Last year, the top 3 quarterbacks picked didn't throw. A lot of them throwing at their pro days. What do you weigh Combine versus pro day?
Wow, that's a great question. I like Combine.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sicko because I like that there's a standard.
Okay.
In fact, I had a conversation today with one of my colleagues at Valor Christian, Bo Nix's wife, and was talking about how the Combine last year was probably Bo's worst performance. It's what I saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he just didn't have a good day. Well, it's because you're out of your element. You're not throwing to your receivers.
Right.
And for real football guys like Bo Nix, it just doesn't feel like football. But I do think that putting them in those tough environments is, as a coach, it's fun to watch. And it's good to see how they respond. The thing that Bo did such a great job of is he didn't necessarily have his best combine. It wasn't good, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there as well. But he responded in a must-perform pro day and did an unbelievable job for the Broncos in their private workout as well. So that showed what kind of response he has, and that's something I always talk about with Bo Nix, elite response mechanism. And so I think that the combine's always going to be valuable. We even talked about some of the risers from the combine this year. So you've got to take it all as part of the evaluation.
Yeah, I think seeing how they handle those big media scrums too, that's
I love that
that's
part.
another piece of
It's
it.
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. All right, well, that'll do it for tonight. Congratulations on
Thank
the new
you.
gig, Coach. Valor, you got very lucky. You got a very good one. And thanks for logging on. We'll see you next time.